going on, everyone? I'm here just doing a little bit of a test for a live unboxing for action figures. We usually do the box unboxings and then we do a bunch of editing. And I've been playing around with StreamYard here and wanted to do a quick unboxing of some Doctor Strange figures that I have because I have to do a big restack of the figures in and behind me. And so I thought I'd try this little session out and see how it goes, get some feedback from everyone. Once they will likely watch the replay here, I'm doing this kind of on an early lunch break as just a test for myself, as well as with a dual camera setup, one being directly at me, and you can see the Marvel Legends behind me, and of course, one being focused directly on the action figures here. So we're not going to waste really any time. We're going to jump straight into the unboxing because I've been quite excited to get into these action figures, because not only are they the next big wave for the next big MCU film coming with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but we got a couple rookie figures here as well, and a couple updates to figures that we got from the 2016 version. So we've got Wong, Baron Mordo, America Chavez, and two versions of Doctor Strange. Now, looking at this wave itself, there are a couple additional figures that do come with it that build out this Rintar Build-A-Figure, which is from the Multiverse of Madness film. So I'm going to have to pick up these two figures here. I usually don't go and grab the non-MCU figures as they're outside of my focus, and I'm going to have to source those Build-A-Figure pieces independently, as I'm not really into paying $35 for a Build-A-Figure piece when I don't really want the action figure. So pretty solid wave, heavily weighted towards the MCU portion of it. A couple new characters, like I said, and some more Doctor Stranges. We got quite a few Doctor Stranges in the last couple of wave, with him, of course, being included in the No Way Home wave as well. So I'll bring some of those characters into context a little later, but we're just going to jump straight into it with Wong's rookie figure. The glare there isn't great, but I'll get this out as soon as possible here. Just wanted to take a quick look at the boxing, a cool Multiverse of Madness. It's great to have these figures, and a figure like Wong, who's made several appearances in the MCU in the last couple of years, of course, in Infinity War, and making his presence felt at the end of Endgame as well. He's also in Shang-Chi earlier in 2021, and it's pretty cool that we get to see his first figure here in what is a much more ornate design in and around his robes. And we get some cool Build-A-Figure pieces there, some of the hands, and of course the description. The boxes are very nice here, but I'm an out-of-box collector. And so let's just crack this bad boy right open here. If you're watching on the replay, make sure to give the channel a like and subscribe. We're doing lots of unboxings here and doing lots of Batman stuff in the next little bit. So yeah, give that like, that button a big smash, and a subscribe here. We're trying to build up this channel. There's the Wong in package here. We've got the hands, the nice big sword. We've got the Build-A-Figure pieces, which actually coolly comes with a second fist there. So let's pop this figure right out and have a quick look there. Let's look at the figure himself. Cool. There's Wong. That focus there. Rookie fig. Like I said, quite a cool design of his robes. This is an updated version from anything we've seen in and inside any MCU films to date. The facial likeness is pretty spot on. They're getting so very good with this here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. There we go. So very good with these action figures in these, I guess about 10 years or so after starting this. The likeness is just unbelievable here, and Wong looks great. He's got his kind of sling ring. I'm making a portal inside of magic here. Look at this. It's just an awesome figure. Wong, one of the favorites. He's had some moments in the MCU. And a lot of these figures now, these magicians or sorcerers, I guess, come with these cool hands directly on the spells. This is something that they did in the past. They had something that would just hang off the hands. It never really looked super good. But nonetheless, we've got a couple of those. Those came also with the Doctor Strange. I like the different sizes that they have on these ones. So that's kind of cool and different. And then we've got a big old sword here, which I don't think we've ever seen Wong use in the past. So pretty cool character. Although it looks like it comes with one C grip there, which is for holding that sword. So there it is. And then of course the couple Build-A-Figures piece. We've got the arm from the Rintar. Is that how you say it? I don't think I'm saying that right, but nonetheless. And for the first time ever, I think on a Build-A-Figure piece, we get a hand swap, which is kind of cool actually. So it's cool to see that they're continuing to leverage this Build-A-Figure accessory piece and addition. Kind of cool. Got the sling ring there on the side there. I think that's the one that maybe Ned borrowed. So there it is. There is figure number 1 in Wong, rookie figure. So cool to see him a part of this. Just going to slide here. We're going to keep going. I love doing these unboxings. And second figure here is Baron Mordo. A lot of us expected him to be the villain of the Multiverse of Madness coming out of 2016's Doctor Strange, with him having that stinger, that post-credit scene where he kind of went and did some evil stuff. And it does allude to this on the back of the package here in the description, that he's out hunting other sorcerers for breaking the laws of reality. So taking things into his own hands. This is another character with a pretty wild look to him. Somewhat divergent from what we saw in his rookie figure that came out in 2016. But let's get into this one. Again, another figure that we have seen an iteration of, but a vast improvement here, I think, overall on his look. I think here, let's get these boxes arranged so they look nice. There we go. Boom. There it is. Baron Mordo. Let's pop him out. There he is in the bubble. Lots of accessories. A very heavy figure, actually. He's got this big cape. Lots of hair, lots of hand swaps. Marvel Legends continues to bring the heat when it comes. Oh, there goes Wong. Sorry about that, sir. Continues to bring the heat on these. That face sculpt, again, coming back to this. Let's get that to focus. There we go. Pretty spot on. Chiwetel Ejiofor is looking great here. Looks to have an interesting role in Multiverse of Madness. Like I said, I thought he'd be the villain of this, and that's kind of what they're setting him up for, and maybe for a Doctor Strange 3. But he seems to be someone that's going to be walking around in the background with maybe Scarlet Witch taking that title role as the villain. Who knows? Lots of great articulation. Nice, big, thick cape here. This is nice and thick plastic. It's got a good lay. I like that there's not... I'm not a huge fan of soft goods. I like this like denser rubber that they're using. He's got the long hair, as we saw in the trailers, and the beard, which is pretty sweet. And again, they've gone the extra mile with these robes on both of these figures. Like just the details and the multiple layering that you can see down and through here. This is pretty cool. Pretty wild figure. Really like the look of it. Quick comparison to the original Baron Mordo. There it is from 2016. This one is a good figure, to be honest with you. But you can see the stark updates between both of these guys. Baron Mordo being somewhat of a supporting character in Doctor Strange 1, and then his step evolution here. But you can see the big improvements on the face sculpts, on the details that they're putting into this. But there's Baron Mordo's rookie fig compared to the figure that we're just getting now. And so let's take a look quickly at the accessories that come with Baron Mordo, if I can get him to stand up here. So he's a pretty wild figure. I really like that. So lots of hand swaps in here. I'm not going to pull them all out right now, but we've got his bow staff or something similar to that. There it is there. And he's got this bow and arrow thing, crossbow, which is pretty cool. Be interesting to see how he uses that. And then we've, of course, got the arms for that Build-A-Figure piece, which are a nice addition. So I'll rip those hands out later. It looks like they're probably a bit more for holding those. We got some trigger figures and a few other things, so pull those out later. But cool figure there with Baron Mordo. I'm really digging what they're doing here. The thing, too, that I love about Marvel Legends right now is that, unlike Star Wars, and I don't want to put down Star Wars, what they're doing here is they're bringing these figures out before the movie comes. And so we can get hyped with the figures as the movie is dropping. And we're not waiting for something for a year or so like we have in the past with some of the Black Series stuff. And so, Yeah, it's great to have some new rookie figures, and another rookie figure in this line outside of Mordo is America Chavez. So I watched the young actress that is portraying this role unbox this, and it got me pretty excited to crack into this figure. So much so that I got a bit of plastic anxiety after leaving this one on the pegs, and I ran back and grabbed it. So there she is in the box. The little description, a young girl from another universe being hunted for her powers, the ability to open doorways into the multiverse. So she's going to be a pretty important character in the multiverse of madness. And it's awesome that we get to see her figure in the first wave for this film. So there it is. America Chavez coming at you with some of the multiversal power. That's cool. Hopefully that wasn't a spoiler for people. People get to experience that in the film, but she's going to be a pretty intricate character, I think. There she is in the bubble. Huge Build-A-Figure piece with her. Likeness on this one is great as well. Let's pop her out of the bubble. Boom. America Chavez. There she is. Look at the details on this figure. Great articulation. A little stiff jointed, which I'm okay with. She's got maybe punching doorways with those fists. The likeness on this one is pretty good, I'll have to say. It's not as good as the other two, but that's all relative. It is still far and away an awesome likeness for this character. The detail on the jacket, the star, of course. Yeah, great flag down here. We've got the stars along the edges. Oh, it is just very cool. A little necklace around her. Her face, like I said, it's pretty darn good there. And very cool character. My daughter saw this and freaked out. That's the thing I love about what DC is doing really well right now, and Marvel's starting to pick up on, is putting very strong, empowered women and young girls into their movies. And me having a daughter, her having a character like this to look up to is just incredible. And so it's awesome to see figures like this dropping onto the pegs. Your Scarlet Witches as well is another big one for her. And so she's just fascinated by this. So very common Marvel Legend articulation, all that. I'm not like a huge articulation or snob in that sense. I kind of just like the likeness and having the figures in my collection. So there she is, America Chavez, another awesome character. She's got a couple hand swaps, it looks like, over here. A little bit harder to stand. She's a bit top heavy, it looks like. But a couple hand swaps in here, which look to be kind of maybe some of her like multiversal opening doors sort of magic hands like we get with Scarlet Witch. And then we've got this big old body from the Build-A-Figure, this Rinitar, however you say that. I'm going to try to avoid saying that again because I'm not quite good at it. So I can pop the arms on. This is a huge figure. This thing too about Build-A-Figures in the MCU, or really Marvel Legends in general, they're just huge figures. Like when you look at that body compared to the other figures, there's a like for like comparison on those ones, and just massive. So pretty cool on that side. There it is, another figure. Let's pop this up, and then we'll get our next figure. There's America Chavez. Up next, I'm going to open up the first of two Doctor Stranges in this wave. And this is the normal Doctor Strange. Presumably the one that comes directly out of No Way Home. We just had a Doctor Strange figure very recently in No Way Home, kind of at the end of November. And so I'll pull that one up here in a second. And it is, it's cool that we're getting so much representation, and they're doing so much better on these face sculpts with Benedict Cumberbatch compared to the first one, which wasn't like terrible, but this one's pretty solid representation here. So again, there he is in the bubble. We've got some of his like sorcerer hands, if you call that. This one's got a dual layered backing that's propping up this pretty awesome cape here, if I can get that out. So there's the cape, that hard rubber again. Lots of intricate detail on that. That is wild. That is pretty cool. They've come a long way with the capes, actually. You can take a look at the first one here from 2016 in just a second. Pop that out. There's Doctor Strange without the cape. Like I said, the face sculpts on these are unreal. Absolutely unreal. I cannot complain at all about any of this. This wave here already, before the last figure, really solid. Absolutely solid wave. We've got the nice little wash on the brows there, or the temples. He's got the Eye of Agamotto. This is the first time we're not getting a necklace Eye of Agamotto, actually. This one's kind of solidly molded in there, translucent, which is a nice touch here. His sling ring and all that on his waist. Again, very common articulation here, hard rubber around the waist. Pretty cool. Now let's pop on that cape. Is there a hole in the back here? No, this is just one that sits on here. So this actually, that's interesting. We'll have to look at this compared to the No Way Home cape, because this might be a bit of a pain to get set on there. But let's see if we can get him standing up here. So let's see. Come on, Doctor Strange. We're going to have to lean you. Yeah, we're going to have to lean you for this one. But there he is with the cape. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And just to fill out the box, there's the hands. I think probably very similar to Wong's, and then some hand swaps there. So lots of the little accessories to go with that. Let's look at this one. So our latest Doctor Strange figure with our first Doctor Strange figure. So there they are. Color's way more vibrant on this one. I couldn't tell you if that's an actual representation in the film or not. You can see the cape. The capes are very different in color, in style, in mold, which is cool. This is like more of a slip-on. You can see that jumps up over his head there. And he's got like the necklace Eye of Agamotto. You can see the robes have come a long way. This one's a bit more form-fitting. So there's the first and the most recent Doctor Strange figures. Very much prefer this one. This one's a little bit more sleek on the head sculpt, at least. Sleek in the sense, I mean, his hair compared to probably more of the reality. So this is a really, really good representation, what we just pulled out there. And then we'll do a quick comparison, because it's not super normal outside of maybe Iron Man that we get kind of the same character back to back in MCU waves. There is in my right hand here, or on this side of the screen with the magic band there, that is the No Way Home Doctor Strange compared to that. So the head sculpts are pretty similar, very, very similar, to be honest. So I'm going to get the right direction there. The hair is a little bit longer on the No Way Home one, but it's difficult to get away from such a good head sculpt. Both standouts, of course. I like this cape on the No Way Home better. It sits better on this figure. This one's a bit loose. I'm surprised, actually, how loose this one is. Like, you can see maybe on the back, this one sits much more snug to the shoulders, the No Way Home one. And actually has no problem sitting on the figure. Where this one, now that I'm kind of playing around with it, it's a bit loosey-goosey, to be honest with you. I don't really know what the expectations are here. Is, I guess, to sit. So not my favorite cape in the world on this new one. Like I said, I much prefer the No Way Home version that's kind of nice and tucked around there with the pop collar. It looks a lot more tight. And so I might swap this cape up onto this new one here, just to see the difference. You can see there with that Eye of Agamotto necklace too. I think I like the molded one better, to be honest with you. It kind of tightens up the character a little bit. Let's pop that on there. It doesn't sit super well either. Oh, it's got a peg hole. That's why. So this one's got a peg hole, the No Way Home one, that sits in the back. And so that might be why it sits a bit better. They've gone away from that for some reason, which I don't know. I'll have to play around with this a bit more, but that is something that's kind of sticking out to me. It's being a little weird. It just doesn't sit right. It looked way better in the bubble, to be honest with you. So, okay. Well, that's interesting. They've gone that direction with that No Way Home, or not No Way Home, the Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange proper. We got one more fig here to look at if I can get this guy to stand up straight. Come on, Doc. You can do it. Stand beside your arch nemesis there in Baron Mordo. So the last one we're going to look at today is the Astral Form Doctor Strange. They did this in 2016 as well. I don't have that figure, actually. I kind of avoided it because it's just a translucent take on this figure. Interesting piece here is this genie lamp, which I don't know if that is some sort of spoiler or what have you, but seeking mastery of the mystic arts, Stephen Strange soon learns to project his astral form into the physical world. I thought he could already do that, but don't know. Let's see, I guess, what that means for the film. Pop this last one out here. Astral form, it's basically just a translucency on an existing figure. And so it is kind of a funny little cheat. I don't want to call it a cheat, but it is kind of that ultimately. It's really only getting another figure out there Difference between these two figures, actually, I was looking at earlier, is a bit interesting in how they've avoided kind of just giving you the exact same figure twice in the same wave. So stiffer joints on this one, which is okay. Like I said, I'm not super fussed about the articulation on all these as long as they move and can get in a pretty cool pose. But I got that light on there. You can actually see that they've done a really good job actually on this translucency in all of this. Pretty cool, like all the way through most of the character. You can actually see the internal workings of the body there, which is neat. This isn't, if I can pop the cape off here, this isn't a exact copy of this figure. This is what looks to be somewhat of a new mold, I think. This here is actually the No Way Home figure. I'm going to pop that off there. So it's the same belt, same head sculpt. It looks like the hair is just a little longer. The robe, everything is exactly the same, just with the translucency on it. So the slightly different plastic and no paint apps. So that's how they've got around not giving you two of the same Doctor Strange, which I'm okay with. I don't love the fact that this was a $35 figure, which is basically the same, but it's cool that they've gone and done some of that translucency on it to give you something a little bit different. I'm not sure how significant of a role the translucency is going to play in the film, but nonetheless, it is there. And so there's that direct comparison. You actually see the light shining through this, pretty cool. So I'm digging this figure. It comes with, like I said, that weird lamp. Let me pop these guys up here. Let's get this silly cape back on Doctor Strange and get him right there. So we've got the head for our Build-A-Figure piece. That's pretty cool. This guy you saw just briefly in the trailer. If I'm being completely honest with you, I can't get that head on there. I thought this was a comic book Build-A-Figure when I first saw this wave. I didn't realize this character was in the film until the trailer. So I am missing two legs. So if you've got two legs out there, let me know if you've bought those comic book ones. And then the only other thing, we've got the Eye of Agamotto, the necklace one, very similar to the No Way Home version, a couple of translucent hands. And then we've got this weird lamp. So I don't know what that means. I don't know its implications for the movie, or if they are just doing a little bit of a Disney nod. Who knows? But we shall see here in May 6th, I think this comes out. And so overall, pretty cool little wave here of figures. I'll get that centered a little better. Probably my favorite figures, the Wong and the Baron Mordo and the America Chavez. So all the new figures, these Doctor Strangers, this one's really cool, except for the cape. It kind of bothers me a little bit, but I'll have to play around with that. This Build-A-Figure is pretty decent. It's going to stand quite tall, actually, relative to all these figures. Once you get legs on him, he'll be a good inch or two taller than most of these. So again, Marvel Legends continues to deliver just the goods. We've got these figures out on a whole wave well before the movie coming out, which is awesome. We get some representation, get to build some hype for this, and hopefully there'll be a wave two, maybe in coordination with a No Way Home wave, where we get some of the older Spider-Man in there, some of those villains, and then anything that shows up in this movie. It's the multiverse. We know Patrick Stewart's in this. We know that there's going to be probably the Illuminati and some wild cameos. So it's really cool to see how far out Marvel Legends and Marvel will let them go with the figures. I want more of these. I love these. You can see behind me here, actually. I'm just going to swap out the fig view to my view, and you can actually see behind me in a big, that's my Marvel Legends wall. I've got somewhere around 150 plus figures there. I want to unbox these because I need to do a reset there and reorganize all those and fit all these figures plus about another dozen figures that I picked up just recently. So guys, if you like this kind of form of live stream unboxings, I thoroughly enjoy talking through this stuff, and it allows me not to edit, actually. So it's a bit selfish on that. And so catch the replay. I wasn't expecting anyone to jump in the live stream because I'm doing it at a weird hour, and I wanted just to test this setup, the look that we've put together here. So leave comments below. Let us know what you thought of this. If you want more of this, more unboxings. The MCU is coming. The Batman is here. So we'll be doing our review on the Nerd Room podcast this coming Thursday for the Batman. Most of the boys have already seen it, and I've given it a huge thumbs up. So get out there and see the Batman this weekend and join us next Thursday for our review of the Batman. And then every Thursday where we talk Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and beyond. This channel here, give it a like, give it a subscribe for us, and just join us in this journey of collecting toys and getting through everything nerd here. So hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll talk to you later, and have a great weekend. See ya.